evening, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters all, and of course, welcome guests. Being that this is Black History Month, I wanted to take us back to that time, make us remember that time or that piece of Black history that should be near and dear to all of us, family. Because the strongest part of our society, in my opinion, is going to be and has always been the Black family. So I wanted to discuss a little bit about that this evening and take you on a little journey back in the time into my past, just for a moment. I want to take you to a moment in my growing up where, see, how many of us have big families where when you grew up around a lot of all your cousins, right? Okay. That's how it was with my family. My family is from the South, from North Carolina. They transplanted up here to New York, and we were hanging around my cousins for a little. My mom got together with her sister, and we were hanging out with my cousins. Now at the time, they lived over in the co-ops over here in Rochdale Village, so we went over to have a visit. I must have been, maybe about 4 or 5 years old. And as cousins do, we all got together and started playing around with each other. As our mothers were in the living room talking, what their conversation was, I have no idea. Because of course, children were what? To be seen and not heard. So we were off in the back someplace playing around. And we decided to play a game of hide and go seek. Everybody knows that game. Now of course, the rules and the parameters change a little bit because we're in an apartment. So where you hide and how you maneuver and everything is a little bit different than if you had a lot of space to move around. But in any case, I found my nice hiding spot in the closet someplace or other. And of course we had this one room that was designated base. So I'm trying to find my way, navigate my way back to home base without getting caught. So I peeked out the door to see if anybody was watching, and I made a break for base. So as I'm running down the hall, top speed now, as fast as my 4-year-old legs could carry me, something said, look over your shoulder to see who's coming. So I did, but I'm still running. And I swung back around, only to meet up with the corner of the wall. Head first. Next thing I knew, everything turned black. And I'm laying on my back, not knowing what's going on. Next thing I knew, I'm on the living room couch. I don't know how I got there. But as I'm drifting in and out of consciousness, with blood gushing from my head and coming into my eyes, all I heard was, of course, my mother screaming frantically, "Oh my God, my son, what's going to happen?" My aunt screaming, "Call 911. My cousins, they're scared out of their minds because they thought we were playing the game, and all of a sudden, here I am, almost dying. And again, all I can remember hearing is my mother screaming and screaming and screaming. Fortunately for me, though, with my Wolverine-like healing properties, by the time the ambulance got there, the blood had stopped, and even today, I only have a very small scar to remind me of the incident. But there was one thing throughout all of that made me think I would never want to put my mother in that type of situation again. So because of that, that's why I've decided to do certain things to basically just make her proud and never make her sad again. Fast forward a few years. Again, playing with my cousins. Go down to but this time this is my cousin down in North Carolina. So I'm playing with them. We're running outside, as always. Now we have more space. Playing a game of tag. So I'm running. Now, if you know anything about driveways in North Carolina, they're filled with what? Rocks and gravel, right? Okay, so here I am again, running as always. And there's one other thing that I never noticed about any other drive, especially not here in New York, but definitely in the South. You have these steel wires that like go from the ground all the way up that kind of separate the driveways and everything. Now, of course, as I'm running, mind you, it started to turn dusk. So it started to get a little dark.